Greg and Dan Show, WMBD. A lot of folks know we are friends with Paula Hinton from the Five Senses Spa and Salon. She's here to do our hair. Hi, Paula.
Good morning.
It is great to see you. You're not here to do that, but you are here on a different mission, and it's a good one. I want you to take us back in time to when you first met the other young lady that's in our studio.
Well, I have Elizabeth Grant, who's sitting next to me, a very good friend of mine, and I had the opportunity of meeting her through Five Senses Spa and Salon, and it actually is a funny story because we have a lot of people that stop by the spa that are always looking to sell things, and I'm always polite to each person, so I go up there and I talk to them. So the front desk had called me saying, there's a girl here, something about the scarves on your head and whatever, and I said, okay, I'll come up. Come around the corner, and so I talked to her, and I said, okay, so you're looking to sell them? And she said, no, I'm looking to purchase one. So, of course, I became very small, and so I don't know what I can't tell you what I would have done the rest of the day of work or whatever, but I'll never forget that day because I spent the rest of the afternoon with Elizabeth, and we went through some of the scarves and options and things like that, and it's been a history ever since.
And Elizabeth, do we call you Liz or Elizabeth? What do we call
I
you?
usually go by Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, and well, why did you need a scarf?
Well, I think it was a couple of years ago. I was getting ready for chemotherapy, so I was interested in looking at the wig selection as well as the scarves and hats. And I ended up, I think, purchasing a couple of scarves and a couple of hats through the catalog at Five Senses.
And back us up through your cancer story.
Okay, I was 28 years old when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and then in 2010, we found out that the cancer came back in my bones, widespread throughout my bones. And then over the past month, we discovered that we found that some cancer in my brain as well as my liver. So that's pretty much it. Right now, I'm sporting a scarf, and this is the third time I've lost my hair. So it's pretty normal right now.
And you are in stage 4, you told me.
Yes.
Stage 4.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That just means that your original cancer has spread to a different site.
Okay, that's what that means.
Yes.
Are you dying?
Everybody's dying, so yes. A stage 4 cancer diagnosis is terminal. There's no cure for it. But the great news is that it is treatable. There's lots of different chemo options available, which I have tried quite a few.
Well, the reason there's an event we're going to talk about, but you came to my world a couple weeks ago on the same day that a good friend of mine passed away, a good friend of Dan and I's, Mr. Burnett, died. And he embraced his cancer. He had pancreatic. He embraced his last days with the same thing that you are, this bright light coming out of you, I just am, here I am. I'm happy. I'm sick. I'm super sick. But I'm not going to be sad about that.
Right.
Where is that coming from? How does that happen?
Well, I kind of think, too, that regardless of a physical illness like cancer, which is very devastating, but life is hard. People have problems. It doesn't have to necessarily be cancer. And I guess we all have a choice of how we're going to handle those life struggles and those trials. And so I choose to go through life and enjoy every breath that I have and just enjoy the life that I'm given, because no one is guaranteed a future. No one's guaranteed that they will be able to raise their grandkids.
Right.
someday.
What do you say about tomorrow, Dan?
Tomorrow is a pretty presumptuous idea.
Yes.
That's why we don't have wine racks.
Dan and I don't like wine racks because
It's like
we
someone
don't-
says, well, let's save this for a special occasion. I'm like, today is a special occasion. Let's open the wine.
Yeah, exactly.
How does she impacted you, Paula?
Actually, she inspires me.
Me too.
When
I just met you 2 weeks ago, but I'm already I'm talking about you to everybody I know.
That's so sweet. Thanks.
Yes, actually, I mean, to kind of see as to how she puts it in perspective, and, just don't sweat the small stuff. I mean, yesterday I'm doing payroll and I'm getting disappointed because I can't figure out the insurance part and how much to take out of this and that and all that. And then when you step back, you say, it's just payroll. Maybe my staff doesn't want to hear that, but it's just payroll, but it's little things where if you get mad or disappointed, you just kind of take a deep breath. And we take life for granted because, I just always make sure that I always say goodbye to my kids and my husband before we leave.
Well, when you're
focused,
and when you're focused like you are on battling a disease and battling for your health, battling for your life, then it's right there. For the rest of us, we get blinded by stuff.
Sure.
We get blinded.
One thing that she said last week to us that I keep thinking of is Elizabeth says that she sees colors brighter and she sees
What does
things
that mean?
differently.
What does that mean?
Well, people always say seize the moment, and that's a nice phrase, but it's very hard to do. And there's a phrase out there, live each day as though it's your last. And that's not really attainable, because if we did that, no one would ever do laundry or buy groceries or anything like
or
that.
we'd max our credit cards all the
Right,
time.
right. So it's really hard to explain, but when you live in the state that life is so frail and so precious, then everything around you becomes more vivid. And I recognize that the moments that I have with my kids and my husband as being moments that I may not have had otherwise. And so I cherish them more. The life around me just is, I just see things brighter. That's all I can say.
What do your kids say? How old are your kids, by the way?
My daughter is 11 and my son is 8. And we are very honest with them on their level. I probably err on telling them more things than they would want to know, but this is our family. This is our journey together. It's not just my journey. So we are going through this together, and it's hard to know what's really inside their head. But from my perspective, I feel like they're pretty well adjusted, and we talk about the hard things, but we also talk about the hope, and they know that the future is uncertain for everybody, but we don't have to worry about that sort of thing.
Are they more willing to pick up the room?
That would be really nice.
See, that doesn't change. No, that doesn't change. They're kids. They're kids. Here's the thing about that. You can get caught up in this, and I like to, in that it is not only your journey with them, but it is the journey that they will take with them for their kids and their grandkids. And this journey has an impact that the line goes forever because of the journey you are currently on. And we all have that. But in your case, maybe, not maybe, much more dramatic than a lot.
It's sad because I don't think any parent wants this to be the normal for their kids, where they see a parent on the couch all the time, too sick to do the things that I used to do, or when I'm in the hospital, I don't want my kids to see me that way. But it's just our life. It's what we have to do.
There are two things I want to tell people about. One is you have a blog, the title of which is Dead Man Skipping, deadmanskipping.com, where you can read your journey, Elizabeth Grant's journey through this wonderful life that she has and this challenges she has. And the reason it's called Dead Man Skipping is?
Well, everybody is on our way to our own death, which sounds kind of morbid, but every breath we take is closer to the end. And so the phrase dead man walking is kind of out there, but I definitely want to be someone that is skipping through life, not just walking to my end. And so it's basically hopefully a positive twist on the trials that we go through in life.
Yeah, you may be sick on the couch and not be able to do some of the other things, but you have more time to read and play games instead of go do the laundry and other things you used to have to do.
Right. I let my kids do the laundry now.
Yeah.
Now, there's something else. We're going to give you all the details in a few minutes, but it's called Hope, Skip, and Jump. It's just a wonderful event that's going to happen at Expo Gardens on October 20th from noon to 6. And it's going to be a celebration of families and life and kids and your family. And we'll tell you all the details of that coming up in a couple of minutes. Paula Hinton's here from Five Senses Spa and Salon, and Elizabeth Grant. Again, her website is deadmanskipping.com. The event is Hope, Skip, and Jump, and we'll give you all the info on that coming up. Greg and Ann on WMBD. Elizabeth Grant and Paula Hinton is here. Paula is our friend from Five Senses Spa and Salon, and Elizabeth Grant is our friend from her blog, deadmanskipping.com. And tell us, ladies, about this event, Hope, Skip, and Jump. It's coming up October 20th.
Well, Hope, Skip, and Jump, I'm actually on the committee for, Elizabeth asked me if I would help, and of course, I said yes, I would love to. So what we're doing is we're basically making it into a family day. And we invite the public out. It's going to be at the Expo Gardens on October 20th.
Right.
There's going to be jumpies and face painting, balloons, you name it. It's going to be a fun event. So we are hoping that people will come on out, and the proceeds of it will go to Elizabeth and her family. Outside of the many bills that they have, it's really more or less for the children who are obviously young, in trying to help with an education fund and things of that sort.
And if you're just coming in this conversation, you are in the throes of a big battle with cancer.
Yes.
Now, you just in the last month found out that you have it in your brain and in your liver.
Yes.
And other places too. So the fight is on, and this is an overwhelming cost.
Yes. Oh, of course, medical bills are always at the forefront of my mind. But for the most part, my children mean the world to me, and it's a passion for me to be able to have this transition for the kids when I'm no longer around, that they'll have some security. So that's probably my biggest concern right now. I'm really excited about Hope, Skip, and Jump because it's going to be fun for the whole family. And even if you don't have kids, there'll be chair massages for the adults and silent auction and bake sale and things like that. But I am all about making memories with my own kids. So it's going to be exciting and wonderful for me to be able to see other families come and make their own memories. I'm excited about that.
And it's noon to 6 on the 20th, which is a couple of Saturdays away.
Yes.
Couple Saturdays. And you're still, by the way, if you're listening right now and you're moved by Elizabeth's story and you want to help out and you have something you could donate for an auction, that's still cool, right?
An auction, or even if there's a sponsorship, we, it's kind of hard to basically go and you're asking for money is what it ends up being.
Sure, it is.
It's a difficult thing, and so that's why we want to make it into a fun event. However, I got to tell you, I have some wonderful people. I have the best job in the world because I get to meet so many people at Five Senses. And I was actually moved one day because somebody that doesn't even know Elizabeth, I kind of told him about the situation, and he pledged $500. And so
wow.
I called Elizabeth. I got all emotional because she doesn't even know who this gentleman is. He's wonderful. I would mention his name. He's great. He drives really, really fast cars. If he's out there, he knows who I'm talking about. And it's just those kinds of things, and some of the people that just want to be able to help because sometimes we're here and we make these connections. We don't know why, because why am I sitting here? And this is why. So I want to be able
I
to
had
help.
that thought the other day. I met Elizabeth a week or so ago, and we had coffee at Spotted Cow, and I thought I am really I don't know how I ended up here, but I'm really glad that I've met you. Your spirit in the throes of just what most of us are scared to death of, a health scare or a health crisis like this, is remarkable. I don't know how you do it, and so I applaud you for that. And just your thoughts on where that comes from. It must be your connection to God. I mean, that's your spirit, right?
Definitely. I feel like quality of life is talked about quite a bit when you have cancer. And for me, I feel like quality of life really is Jesus. It's on the inside. That's where true life is. So I sort of feel like no matter what the circumstances are that surround me, I can still have joy. I can still have peace. I can still smile every day and be grateful for the air that I breathe, even if everything around me is falling apart.
You're a cool lady. Thanks for
thank
coming in. Again, the website is deadmanskipping.com, and you can follow along with Elizabeth's journey. You can contact Paula Hinton at Five Senses Spa and Salon if you want to help out and donate anything to Hope, Skip, and Jump, October 20th. Expo Gardens. Go to hopeskipandjump.com. It's also on Facebook, right?
It's on Facebook. And actually, if you go to the Five Senses Spa and Salon Facebook page, actually for the whole month, any gift certificates or product purchases, Five Senses is going to be donating 10% of it to Elizabeth's fund. So basically, whoever wants to come out and help out, there's going to be, like I said, balloons, fun, even food. And actually, I have got to have a thank you to Double A's, who's donating a bunch of pizza. The woman who owns it comes and gets her hair done. Again, I tell her about the situation. Nice. She donated so much pizza, so come hungry so that way you can have a good time.
All right, we'll remind you as it gets closer to it. Ladies, nice to see you both.
Thank you so much.